Okay, keep going.
All right.
What else have you done? What have you done today?
Today I went in, worked for Bob for a bit. I started off wrote.
Is this like an assistant kind of thing?
Yeah, Bob's assistant. Started his surf lessons, now I'm his assistant.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, check the boys. Look at the hair. It's like Ellen DeGeneres today. Right?
Ellen,
Yeah.
you're a legend, man.
Are we filming?
Yeah, we're going. Yeah, it's going. We're chilling.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
What do you want to rip into today?
What should we rip into? We've been going good on like what is the meaning of life type stuff.
Well, I think me and you are both going through that kind of shit. Trying to figure it out. Although I don't think it's something to like figure out, really. I mean, I don't think it's something that you'll ever figure out. It's just the journey. But definitely we both have been like kind of searching for shit.
A buddy, I won't disclose his name because he's actually in a psych ward at the moment. But he said to me one time, he's like, Conrad, you're always searching for happiness. I'm just happy.
I don't think I agree with that for you, though. I think you are happy, man. I think you're a very, very happy guy.
Yeah.
Like,
dude,
you're one of the happiest people I know, for sure. Like, just your energy. You have really, really uplifting energy.
But I live for improvement. I live for progression. I live for that satisfaction every night. Like, if I had a great day, that means I accomplished something sick. So I'm always searching for that, I'd say.
Well, I don't think part of that's a bad thing. I don't think there's a bad thing in, like, never being satisfied. But I do think that there's a bad thing. I think it's tough if you are, like, if you actually are only happy when you are accomplishing shit. Mm-hmm. You know? Like, I think you can accomplish shit and be happy, but like we were talking the other time, like unconditional happiness shit, like you're the bottom line is happiness or joy or like something like that. That's like the essence of you, you know, to be happy to be alive. But then on top of that, you are happy with like your mundane things. What the fuck were you saying the other day about like shit that's not important and shit that's urgent?
Oh, yeah. Important versus urgent. Urgent always wins.
Right. So I think that like the urgent stuff is like the urgent stuff is the stuff that you're happy about that's like conditional. Whereas like the important stuff is like the stuff that you're happy with, like regardless. Like you're happy because you're alive and you're healthy and you're a human and you get to live another day. And so you have that essence of happiness that like fills into all of the stuff that you're doing.
True that.
Dude, you got to look up this fucking thing that this dude told me called. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's that Satchiananda. It's like it's one of the Eastern religions. It's like out of consciousness, like the essence of it comes the feeling of joy or comes the feeling of bliss. So it's like the truth of who you are, like the core of who you are is joy. You know, it's pre-conditions. It's not conditional. It's not light and dark. It's not good and bad. It's not up and down. It's before all of that. Before all the conditions come in, the essence of you is joy. So like meditation, I gotta turn this off. Meditation, that kind of stuff teaches you to go in and feel that essence of who you really are and connect with it so that in real life when shit is going wrong, when you're feeling like up or down or whatever, you can connect back to that is outside of the time and space. It's outside of the conditions. It just is who you truly are naturally. It's like your natural self, you know?
And that's joy. Coming
back to that joy, I think they call it bliss or joy or love or all of that, like all of the things that are kind of described in the same way.
I had an untethered moment last night.
I fucking love talking about this book with you.
Untethered, it's great. I was sitting there, and sometimes at night, you know, if I'm alone, I get lonely. But last night, I was trying the untethered thing where I was watching, you know, I was like, all right, take note of the surroundings, take note of your sensory inputs, take note of your thoughts, take note of your feelings. And so I was observing all this. And then I was like looking at my leg, and then I was like, oh, I'm going to observe Conrad, myself. So I started observing myself, and I got happy because I was like, you know, healthy guy, got, you know, good, healthy, strong body, young, somewhat fit.
Totally fit.
Yeah, it made me happy. I was like, here I am, myself. You know, I'm not decaying or dying here. I'm breathing. I can see. I'm observing that I can do all these functions of life that, you know, without those, life would be pretty rough. But as long as you got those.
Right,
know,
yeah. That's a good perspective.
Made me happy last night, yeah.
Well, that's dope.
Yeah, it was
I think
it was a good moment.
You should try that. You should try. You never meditate though?
I'm getting better at it apparently.
Dude, you should
because now
try.
I do that. I just observe things instead of, because I can't just breathe. When I just breathe, then I start thinking about, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna do this. Oh, she said that. What a jerk.
Well, that's what meditation is. It's you see those thoughts come up, and then you go back to, like, say you're meditating on your breath. You go back to how you're breathing. So like you focus. You are thinking about something, like you think about your breath, but it's like you get pulled away and you start thinking about, like you said, the day, what the fuck, that text I got to reply to, all that shit, and it pulls your attention away. And what most people do is they start thinking about that. Then another thing comes in, they hop to that. But like what meditation, the practice, the goal of it is to see that thought come in or hear that, like, I got to go check that text or whatever, and then be like, no, I don't need to. I'm going to come back to my breath. Or, I mean, you can meditate on anything. You could literally stare at this screen and just be like, I'm going to stare at this screen for 5 minutes, and you'll be staring at the screen for 30 seconds, and you'll hear a noise, and you'll go like this. Or you'll think about something, I need to text that person, you'll get pulled away. But it's like going like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to place my focus right here, my awareness right here, and I'm not going to get pulled into it. And eventually what happens is you get less and less of those thoughts, and you don't get pulled into that much stuff. And then it translates into real life, because your attention's getting pulled all the time in real life, but it'll give you like that extra second to like not get pulled into it. And then you really start to see like who you are and like the way your patterns are. Like, damn, like anytime that person calls, like I drop everything, or anytime like that situation approaches, like I get really fearful, or like anytime you just start to see like, oh fuck. And then that's when you're able to like kind of navigate it differently, because you have like that extra second to think about it, which is what meditation teaches you, or one of the many things that it does. The other thing that it teaches me, has taught me, this is all just like personal experience, not like shit that I've heard from other people and have never tried. This is like shit that I've done. The other thing that it is like when you're going through like really tough shit in meditation, if you focus, like the practice that I would have would be like I would focus on joy. Like I would have a meditation where I would practice joy, because it's like like I was just saying, Satchidananda, like the nature of you. So I would go in and I would like think about I would think about like 5 or 6 really joyful moments in my life, and not like the big fucking moments where I would win a championship or shit. Maybe that is for some people, but mine would be like literally like laughing with my little sister, or like hanging with the guys and everybody's cracking up, like or like, you know, just a moment where you're just like, fuck yeah, you know, super pumped. And I would sit there and like let it feel it throughout my whole body. And then when you really feel it, like you can actually feel like almost like you're in that moment, you like almost it's called anchoring. You almost like hold on to that moment, like remember what it feels like, because that moment that you're feeling in those really joyful moments isn't conditional. That's how you're supposed to feel all the time. You know, that's what I was just talking about, how it's not light or dark, it's not good or bad. It's the essence of who you are. And so what you'll do in those meditations, if you you do them constantly, you'll start to feel that like joy in the meditation really easily. And then when you go out into real life and you are going through like depression or darkness or anything like that, you take a second and you pause and you reconnect to that feeling that you had when you were having that experience of joy, that like human experience that you're feeling throughout your whole body. And you just focus on that and meditate or focus or whatever, place your focus on that joy, and then let everything else pass. And you'll be amazed at how often like that darkness or that like depression or that like anxiety or whatever will go away. You just let it pass. It's not that you're thinking about the joy and then thinking about the thoughts that are bothering you or the moment that's bothering you. You just focus on that and just say, I'm not going to worry about this other stuff for now. I'm just going to reconnect to my higher self or love or God or whatever you want to say, which is really what you're connecting to, you know? The idea of God, at least to me, is the energy of love within us. So it's like, if God is within you, the Holy Spirit, I mean, my feeling of it is like the Holy Spirit is the love within us, right? And the loving energy that's within us. So like if you're living in the Holy Spirit, you're living through God's eyes, you're living as God's son, you're living through love. Same kind of thing. So that feeling of love, which I equated to as joy and happiness, bliss, that kind of stuff. When you're pausing and you're re-anchoring or reconnecting to that feeling of joy, I mean, the way that I look at it is you're really reconnecting to God. That's the way that I feel it. You know, maybe everybody has a different experience of it, but that's the way that I would go about it, especially in the times when I'm going through like really heavy shit. Is like I would be like, damn, this is affecting my mind, it's affecting my ego, affecting my body or whatever. But let me just take a second and just reconnect and re-feel that energy of like that joy, love, whatever, and just let it go through my body and like purify the stuff that's going on in me right now. You know? Does that make sense at all?
That makes sense. Another way I think I could understand, see it is almost like if it's a bad moment and you want to reconnect with that with your essence of joy, bliss, and go to those better moments, it's almost as if you can either choose to be reactive to these bad things in maybe your current circumstances, or you can be proactive and go back to your essence, go back to that joy, go back to that bliss. Because I've read some books on, you know, being proactive and different things, and it's interesting. I think a lot of books today talk more about like surface level stuff, like How to Win Friends and Influence People. I think it's a good book, but I think that's almost more surface level stuff.
Totally.
And then other books it talks about, I think, which are more important, is, you know, more deeper stuff about who you are, living good principles that'll make you happy, having good perspectives, clear perspectives. And I think that stuff's more on the lines of, you know, what you're talking about, being proactive and having that sense and being able to go there no matter what the circumstances are, because we can just react to those things and live like, I think, natural, normal humans is you just react to that situation right as it comes. You be angry, you be pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can choose, like what you're saying, be proactive and go back to your state of bliss essence.
What was it? You're just reactive. That's a perfect way to put it. Like before pre-meditation, super reactive.
Yeah,
Me,
reactive.
I'm very, very, very reactive.
Yeah, I'll
You're
kill
taught,
you,
yeah, fuck you, man. Like, fuck you. You're gonna
No,
treat
fuck
me like
you,
that,
bro.
You're gonna treat me, fuck you. You know.
Yeah.
And then meditation, it's like you say something. Oh, okay. And
You're
you pause
back
for a
in the
second.
driver's seat.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
no,
like,
he can do all that.
Let him
or
chill
this can do this.
Yeah.
And
It really does. It really does. I mean, at least for me, it changed my fucking
have
life.
you read Man's Search for Meaning?
No, Sam's reading that right now.
I love that book. You think that guy, Viktor Frankl, Auschwitz, you know, worst place you could probably be, one of the worst in human history. And he was able to, I think some of the bottom layers were, all right, he had a clear perspective of, I can choose, you know, how I'm going to deal with this. I'm not going to be reactive and just give in and be like, all right, I'm going to die or suicide or whatever. I'm going to find joy somehow. And he did. And then I think that led him to somehow draw out energy from God or the universe. And that allowed him, you know, a means to end up having a million different lucky circumstances that got him out of Auschwitz. And then he survived.
That's a sick book. There's been like 3 or 4 people that have told me to read that. I just never have. Dude, I have so many books that I want to read. But Sam's reading that right now. But just going back to what you were just saying, it is crazy how, like, you know, in every moment as people, as humans, you are making a choice. So it's like, do you want to go up or do you want to go down? And like in the Untethered Soul, take the audio stuff on YouTube, he always talks about like every decision that you're making, like if you're not sure which way to make it, which one's going to take you closer to God, you know? So it's like, and you are making that choice in every moment. And that's the ability as a human being, is to be able to place your attention where you want it and go the direction that you want it. So I do think that meditation and that kind of stuff makes you kind of have that little pause, and then that choice becomes more clear. It almost gives you like an extra lane, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's something that you kind of lose when you are going through, when you are feeling like super down or super like self-pity or self-hatred or self-harming or any of that kind of stuff. Like you almost feel like it's out of your control. And I've felt like this a fucking ton in the last like couple months. You're like almost like, well, I feel bad, you know, so I'm just gonna go into it more. Like I just feel bad, and you kind of just like chalk it up to like that's how it's supposed to be, but it isn't. And you know, and in every moment, and sometimes it's really fucking hard, but in every moment you're making the choice. You know, do you want to go one way or the other way? And sometimes it's a bunch of ways, but you're the one that's making the choice at the end of the day. So which way do you want to do it?
I like that.
It's interesting.
People in the West, I feel like, get more depressed. People in the East, which is interesting. I watched a podcast, Joe Rogan, actually. He was talking to this guy, And I don't know, Joe Rogan seemed to almost disagree or just didn't get it, but I agreed with the guy he was talking to, who was saying that they did this experiment where you just do something to make yourself happy. Just do whatever, just do something to make yourself happy. And then I forget what it was. But everyone in the East, to make themselves happy, they went out and did something for those close to them or for their friends or family. And then us in the West, we're like, okay, I'm going to the spa, I'm doing this or that. And then at the end of the thing, the people in the East were a lot happier than the people in the West.
This is like a study?
Yeah, this was a
No
study.
way.
Yeah, it was super interesting. And Joe Rogan was like, no. Like, people in the West don't just do things for people, or people in general don't do things for people to be happy. They do it because they love them, which I agreed with the other guy who says, yeah, sort of, but it's more just their culture in the East. In the West, we have this new culture where it's like all about like, oh, do this for yourself. It's all about you, in relationships. No, you don't need a spouse. You just need you. And I think we've taken it too far, in my opinion. I think it's like a little too much about like, oh, me, myself, and I nowadays. I mean, at least here in California, it seems like the culture's, I think, harming us because we're too much about like myself. When, in the East, they're showing us if you do stuff for your friends, family, you feel better, you're happier.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
It is. It's hard. I feel like it's probably hard to do that in the West right now because of like, I feel like stardom and all that shit, like celebrity fame and like all of that kind of stuff, even like social media and that kind of stuff. Do you think that it's like as big in fucking the East? Like,
yeah, I don't
that
think
kind of
so.
like social media,
and all
like,
these posts, like,
that kind of
me,
stuff that
my
like
glass
just pulls
of wine
you
and
in.
Netflix,
It's
I'm doing me, it's like so much of that today. It's like, I think it's okay, but I think it's just a little overboard right now.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Like,
with
you don't
that.
see many posts like, go out and help someone today.
Yeah,
you don't see that shit, which is good too. We need more of that, I think.
I completely fucking agree.
Yeah,
which is what I think you're doing though.
It's more today, like, go do you, It's like, okay, we get that.
Which isn't bad to a certain degree.
It's just so much. It's like, okay, I've heard that a million times.
Have you ever read the book Start With Why?
Mm-mm.
Simon Sinek?
Oh, he's cool.
He's a cool dude.
I like his stuff.
Yeah, he was like, the fucking, one of the quotes he has is like, there's 1 million books in the self-help section. There's 0 books in the help others section.
Yeah, right.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Everything's like how to do this for yourself. How to do this. There's nothing like how to make other people around you better.
Yeah.
How to make other people around you happy.
Yeah, and I mean, at least Christianity, Jesus, I'd say probably the Buddhists, all that. I'd say Muslim. I think a lot of them ideologies. It's like, you help other people and then you're happy.
Is it in the Mormon church, or is everything that you guys do based off of Jesus? Is it?
Yeah, Jesus.
So it's
they're
all
the same thing, like serve other people. I mean, the golden rule is pretty much the base of everyone's theology is, do unto others as they do.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Which golden rule is great.
How different is, this is something you know more about than me, like different religions. How different is Jesus than the figurehead of a lot of religions in the East?
I think it's different in that in Christianity, Jesus saves you, there's mercy through Jesus. So you just, you repent, accept Jesus, try your best, and then you go to heaven. Whereas in the other ones, it's more like, there's not this Jesus figure, there's Allah, and then there's like, Muhammad is messenger, but there's just Allah. And, you got to follow the
Muslim?
5 pillars. Yeah, Muslim's 5 pillars. You do those 5, you're good.
5 pillars to live by while you're alive.
Pray, fast, go to Mecca,
really?
Give to the poor. I forget the 5th, but you follow those, you're dialed in. And then some of them, I think the extremist, the 6th is like, do anything in the name of Allah. So that's where they get the fight, I think. But people will probably get mad. I'm probably screwing a lot of shit up here. But
yeah. And what about Buddhism?
Buddhism, I'm not too sure. Middle path. Something like that.
I know a little bit about it. Like I know yin and yang, Taoism or Taoism, however you fucking pronounce it.
I like that Taoism.
So do I.
That stuff's cool.
I like that a lot too. But I don't know too much about it. But before, when I was with Sam at the beginning, and like Sam was really heavy in the church, and then broke up with me because of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like just because like people in her church were basically telling her like you can't be with someone that's not in the church. It was really heavy.
Bad dog.
Even though I was going to church and stuff, and Sam ended up not. like agreeing with it, and like we ended up being together and stuff like that. But because like we were talking before, like how organized and how like almost culty some of them can be to that degree. Not all, not like obviously not every church, but like there's some churches that are so like, it's so by the book and so like hardcore that it becomes almost like a cult.
Yeah, and I think the thing is though is I think the actual church is not like that, not supposed to be like that. It's not by God supposed to be like that. But I think just some of the people in it, they get so obsessed with certain things that they get a little too culty or judgy or like, oh, you didn't follow this, so you're bad. But that's not how it's supposed to be. I don't think in any church, any religion. So I think
why do they get that like that then?
I think they just get obsessed, and I think that's what happened. Back in the day too, a power trip. I think that's probably what caused a lot of the big crusades and bad things. Is just they use it against other people as power to do this, power to do that. Their motives, or they hide their other things and go do their bad things with that in the name of this,
Yeah.
But I don't think it's that extreme anymore. People are like coherent that, you're not going to go on some crusade in the name of this or that,
Yeah.
We're not going to see that again, I bet. Maybe.
I would go on a fucking crusade with you. I mean, you kind of went on a fucking crusade.
I've done a few crusades.
Yeah, you could call that a crusade for sure.
Yeah, the walk, the mission.
In the name of the animals.
Yeah, in the name of the dogs, chickens.
Pigs, you did a little pigs one.
Did a little pigs one. No one really liked
What if we did a
pigs.
fucking walk? What if we did a fucking walk from like Los Angeles to New York or something like that through the Midwest?
I was talking to my buddy about it today. I want to do it next
That would take
April.
like 3 months though.
6 months. 3 months? If we did it in 3 months, we'd have to walk 30 miles a day.
Dude,
it's 2,700 miles.
Yeah, that's too far.
I did 1,000 miles in 2 months.
Dude, that's too far.
So 3x that.
6 months on the street.
We're doing it.
No,
I want to do it
far,
April, May, June, July, August, September. This next year, maybe. I'm just messing around with the idea. See if I get some organized.
What about one through Canada a little bit?
I don't know. It'd be cold.
Oh, in the winter, that'd be freezing. Ooh, what if we do? Fuck, how much harder would that be to do a cold one?
Be a lot harder.
Like a lot harder. Hey, not being able to sleep on the street and shit.
I'd do that one if we were doing like some sick motels here.
That'd probably be easier though.
Yeah.
I would do one that's like the same difficulty and challenging as you, but like not cold. I wouldn't want to do one that's, I mean, maybe it'd be a good fucking challenge for me, but I wouldn't want to do one that's like through Canada when it's cold. I would be down to do one during the winter.
There's some cool ones. I want to do the one the Alchemist did. The kid, Santiago, he walked from like Spain through Morocco.
How many people you think have done that because of the book?
A lot of people, I bet. That one's a great journey right there.
Well, I would do one through Europe. I would do one through Europe. It would just be it would probably be pretty hard. Like
me and you should do Moscow to Sochi.
Oh my god, man!
1,000 miles
in the motherland.
1,000 miles. We start in Moscow. We're reigning supreme, and then we go to Sochi. We walk south. You
think we would make that?
I think we'd make it.
Everyone think that you
Russians
ran through?
Are so scary.
No,
I
agree with that.
We've
at
been
the beginning
there,
though.
No one tried to kill
Russians
us.
Russians are only have like a hard front.
Yeah.
And then once you get past that hard front, they're like,
yeah, my boy,
bratan. Yeah.
No, people in Russia would say they're like, no, we're like what'd they say? We're like oranges. On the outside, we're sour and hard. But on the inside, we're a nice orange. And you guys, you Americans, you're like peaches. You're soft on the outside, but then on the inside, you got these nuts. You guys are these frauds.
Ooh.
That's what they'd say. They'd say, you Americans, you're like peaches. We're like oranges,
That's almost kind of true, though.
Yeah, I guess so.
Dude, I actually just got a call from my Russian roommate like 2 days ago. Dude, this kid's 19. He might be 20. He's living in a baza, like living in like a dorm. Playing for a team, not in the top league, but in the second league, playing for a team, making like basically no money. And he has a wife that's back home in Moscow. He's like 7-8 hours away. And his wife's pregnant, 8 months pregnant, like literally about to have the kid. And he's just calling me, and he's not making like any money at all, but he's making like enough for their family. And he's living in a dorm room with 3 other guys in a fucking baza, like it literally dorms.
What a life.
Twin beds, no kitchen, nothing. Like have to eat 3 meals in the cafeteria, which is what I did. I was his roommate. But
Artyom.
Yeah,
I remember seeing your post.
Yeah, exactly. He literally called me yesterday and was just called me smiling ear to ear. What's up, moi bratantiga? Like just like talking like yeah, like just like the happiest fucking kid ever. And I got off the phone with him, and I literally was like, to Sam, like, dude, like, we are so fucking blessed. Like, this kid is happy with not. His wife is literally calling him about to have a baby. He's in training camp on the ice twice a day, having to come back to our room with 3 guys in the room.
Jeez.
And I was just like,
3 sweaty big ass hockey players.
Yeah, in a literally,
room.
I'm not joking, like a room maybe a little bigger than that.
Чувак, вообще.
Yeah, I know.
Ништяк. Вообще, охуенно.
Пиздец.
Да, блядь.
Fuck, man. I really enjoyed Russia. I really enjoyed Russia.
It's so raw. It's so primitive.
Honestly,
so
Russia scares me, which is
intense.
why not scares me, but like that walk would scare me, which is why I would consider doing it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If I would do it, I would want to get I would want people over there to know, so that like we would be like, you know, here if you were
Got some
fucking up
boys
anywhere,
here.
you could like you even stopped for one day to see a couple people that you knew, or you know where you ran into like some people that like connected you with people, that kind of shit.
Yeah, there we'd
People
want
saw you on the
gain a
news
little,
and
you know, movement.
you would want
some
people to be like,
we wouldn't want to be going like, oh, who are these 2 idiots?
who are they? And then they come up to us, Amerikanski.
Американцы пацаны, вот так. Давай, деньги немножко, да?
Yeah, and they fucking just take all of our shit, all of our money. And
Bro, we'd get in the flow state though. If we did that walk.
I'm in the flow.
You're in the flow, huh?
You're in the flow too.
I'm in the flow, but imagine that.
I'm not always in the flow.
We'd be walking on cloud 9 when we got to Sochi, jumped in the water, went for a surf.
That'd be a real spiritual walk. Fuck, I'd be like, dude, am I gonna make it home?
Oh, it'd be so incredible. Russia's just such a crazy feeling. Feels like another planet. I've never been somewhere so foreign, and it's funny because Russians, you know, it's all these people that I guess sort of look American, but it's just such a different feel than even like, you know, Indonesia or Africa. I've been there, and Russia, Siberia, at least of all places, felt the most like I was on another planet. I'd say of anywhere.
Well, I think you were in really, really, really small cities though.
Yeah, I was in Kembra.
Dude, you know, I honestly thought about this because when I was over there and I was in fucking like Orsk and like Tyumen and like little Tyumen might be a little bit bigger, but like Orsk and like outside of Novosibirsk, there was one place that I wasn't even allowed to go to because it was a nuclear war plant.
Oh, what was the name of that?
Kratov? No.
I'll know it when you say it.
Oh man.
And there's like there's like a gate that shuts you off.
What the fuck was it? It was literally like a city. Like it was like they had a name for it, and it was like a city, but in the city they had like a base, and everyone had to live in the base because it was a nuclear war plant, and there's gates at the base where people can't go in and out without being allowed in. Sartov? No. Fuck, what is the name of it?
Saratov, that's another town.
I don't know, but so I couldn't even go on the trip. But like so that I wasn't even allowed to go. They were like, "Hey, you're American. Like they're not gonna let you in the base." Like literally, they were like, "Everybody that goes in the base, if you're not from there, not living in there, they take your phones, they take everything, and you can't take pictures or any of that shit, even the Russians." And so they were like, "American though, like you don't get in." So I didn't go. Sarov? Fuck, what is the name? I'm gonna have to look it up. But aside from that, like there was some small cities that like I was looking at, and while I was over there, I was like, "Dude, these cities are like a whole nother planet." But then when I came back, so I was thinking about that, and I was taking pictures of them like, man, people aren't going to believe this. Like these dirt roads, people are like, you know, outdoor market, whereas this is like the mall for them, that kind of stuff. But then when I came back and I was like traveling around like the Midwest and stuff like that, there was some fucking towns that I was seeing there that I was like, dude, this is like Russia.
Yeah.
I was like, this is like literally like a whole nother planet. So maybe it's just because me and you were traveling through like the small towns. But I think if me and you if we drove 3 hours inland right now, from the coast, we could find some fucking small places that would be like, dude, where are we?
That is an interesting point. Rick talks about it. He's like, you know, most of America, it's the hood.
Yeah.
Like it's gangster out there.
Yeah. Or
serious. Poor.
Maybe not gangster, but yeah, poor. Overweight.
Unhealthy. Hawaii, they're real obese.
Really?
Yeah, Hawaiians, they eat.
How fuck do you think I'm gonna be on Monday when we're going to Hawaii Monday?
That's crazy, a hurricane.
Yeah,
right?
no, but how bad? Like, have you ever been over there have you ever been anywhere where there's been like real hurricane or like anything close to it? Like a mess?
Not really. In New York before the walk, it was like, you know, hurricanes, but they were a little south. No, not really. I don't know.
That wasn't when it was really, really bad in New York, was it?
No. It'll be good. You guys got to attempt it. It'll be a great adventure.
Yeah. Surfing for the first time on a fucking hurricane.
Yeah, it's going to be sick.
It's Not first time,
Super
fourth
sick.
time. I'm basically pro now. How much time you got? What are we at right now?
I'm cruising 3:34.
That's 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're flowing. We're talking about life again.
Is her Alibaba hasn't hit you?
Haral Bob hasn't hit me up.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure, probably just eating a shitload of ice cream and
Damn.
cereal before bed. I love just stuffing my face before I go to sleep, lying down, feeling all fat.
Do you actually like that? I hate
I love
that feeling.
it. That's my favorite.
Really?
Yeah. Last night I didn't eat enough before bed because I couldn't decide if I was gonna eat the rest of my burrito. But then I was a little late, a little aggressive for the burrito. But then I didn't really have it in me to
Where'd
make
you
a
get a
bowl of
burrito from?
cereal. Habana, Cafe Habana.
Oh, you go up there that often in Malibu
Yeah.
to get
good.
food? Oh, because you're driving back and forth.
Yeah, I was at home.
Dude, I can't eat like that anymore.
Well, a lot
Okay,
before
yo,
bed.
we should do you should do like a 30-day thing on your Instagram where like you eat strict and work out. Maybe not work out hard, but like just do fitness shit and see the transformation.
I'm in because Haralabab was just saying maybe tomorrow for a month. This is crazy. Maybe this is destiny that you're just saying that. We're going to start Barry's boot camp
For a month.
for a month.
You should
See how we do.
you should legit post something saying like starting tomorrow I'm going 30 days even right like for the past like couple years or a couple months or however long it's been eating like shit food, been eating like a junk, and for the next 30 days I'm going to switch it around. I'm going to eat healthy and I'm going to work out every day and see what you look like. Dude, you'll be a machine.
You think I could get ripped?
I think you could get really cut. I mean, I think you could put on size too.
Really?
I don't know exactly how you. I've never
putting
seen
on
a big.
size. I think I could get a little more ripped. But
I think you could put on a little bit of muscle too.
That'd be cool.
Fuck, I'll put some muscle on you. You want to fucking come in here, bro? Throw some weights around like
I'm
gorillas.
scared, bro.
No, but I
Kick
don't know
my
what Barry's
ass.
Barry's boot camp like a.
I feel like it's more for girls, but I don't know.
No, I think
Isn't
it's
it?
just boot. I think it's like a quick station, like boom, boom, boom. You're moving. You're not doing heavyweight. You're doing lighter weight, I think, and then
Alright.
probably doing a couple cardio things, maybe a bike or a runner or something. I'm not sure, but do it and do the diet stuff, man.
Just get fit.
You'll go through like 3 or 4 days at the beginning where you'll be craving ice
Yeah.
cream and craving that stuff, but
I mean, I'm not that bad. Like last night, I didn't have ice cream. What I ate last night. I had one of my. I drink those brown type drinks for breakfast a lot. They're like
brown type drink.
there's coconut, almond milk, dates. Cocoa. Those things.
Like a smoothie?
Yeah, they're in the juice aisle. They're great.
From where?
You get
Whole
them at
Foods?
Whole Foods or wherever.
Oh, so it's a pre-made shake.
Yeah, pre-made
Yeah, okay.
shake.
Yeah, that's just a morning
I
shake.
got one of those last night.
And you had one of those last night?
Yeah.
And you chose that over the burrito?
Yeah, because the burrito's a little aggressive. That late.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, it was easy to just swoop.
Dude, you gotta try it, man. Just try it. I want to see you fucking 30 days of health and just see it. Not necessarily how good you look, but just how fucking good you feel. Bro, you'll be on another level.
Oh, they might have just got the nut itch right there.
That's okay.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, yeah, I'll try it. I'm going to try it.
You should.
I'll throw down one more deep question.
Throw it down.
I'll
I'll give you one more too. Cause
It's
there's one more here,
basically the same thing what we've been talking about, but I'd love to hear again. So I thought it was so cool. And I'd love to hear if there is a difference and how they compare the two questions of what is the meaning of life and what is the purpose of life. No, because that is, I guess, the same thing. So then I guess what is the meaning of life, and then the other one, what is purpose? So I loved the answer to that. That was great.
Dude, I don't know. Meaning of life. I don't know if those are two different things. Like, I think the meaning of life for me is to just live through love and to enjoy every moment. That sounds like super cheesy, but I don't know if it's like some super deep, like you're supposed to figure out your and all, maybe to try and work through as much karma as you can, to try and release as much blocked and like stored shit that you have inside of yourself, maybe from past lives and stuff. I don't know how much I believe in that, but maybe for people that believe in that, like all the stuff that you come into this world with, all the trauma and stuff, to work through that. And I think the same meaning of working through that would be to walk towards God, to help create heaven on earth while you are here. Because I view earth as heaven. I don't view like Some religions talk about going to a place and you get all the glorified stuff when you're done. I think heaven is here. You know, I've said that before. I think heaven is heaven on earth. Whether you come back or not, I don't know to that extent. I believe a little bit in reincarnation or like coming back to a certain extent, but I've never really dove too deep in that. But one thing that I feel like from my experience here is like, this is fucking heaven. Like this is at least heaven for now. I can't picture something that is going to be better than what is going on right now. Like the opportunity that is right now. I don't think that like if I were to go somewhere and there to be 40 Bentleys and fucking a million girls and I'm shredded and all of that I'm going to be that much happier. You know, I think like I'm going to reach peak happiness and can constantly be in like a blissful state here. And that's my version of heaven. So I think the meaning of life would just be to enjoy it all, to live and enjoy the process and the journey of life, and to clear as much karma out of you and as you can. That might sound like super, super out there. And the purpose one, I wouldn't be able to give you like a strict definition of what is purpose aside from those 4 things that I was saying. What do I love? What am I good at? What does the world need? And how can I make a living doing it? A mixture of those 4 things is what I feel like gets you really close to your purpose. I don't know another definition of it. It's a fucking really hard question to answer, but dude, that's the first time that I've heard. That was the first thing that I heard on purpose. That it was like, dude, that brings it close. And it doesn't bring it to one thing. Like I've gone through those things. Oh, I'm good at this. I'm good at that. I love this. World needs this and that. But it brings you closer. Gives you more. It gives you at least a handful of things.
I love that. You had some good stuff right there, JT.
What do you? Solid. Well, tell me what you think.
Walk towards God. That's a good line.
Yeah,
that one was ringing in my head.
Yeah, walk towards God.
Walk towards God. That's cool.
Have you ever noticed like when you're really tired or when you're really like exhausted or something? Not tired just from like being lazy, but like after a workout or something like that, or you're going through some stressful shit, and you just make one decision that you're like, I'm gonna push through it. For some reason, for me, all the time when I'm going through that, I end up like looking up, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fucking get through it, you know. So every time that I used to work out, like last summer when I would train really fucking hard, like to the point where I'm like failure. Mm-hmm. At the end of it, when I would get up, I would always like look up and be like, I'm okay. Not like necessarily straight up, but I would like look in the distance, like up. I would always be directing up. And someone said like, it's such a simple term, but look up. And it was like walk towards God. And I was like, fuck, man. Walk towards
that's
God.
The greatest.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm gonna find this thing from Man's Search for Meaning. It's one of my favorites. But I also loved what you said about heaven on earth. JT's in heaven on earth. Khalil also said
Sam has that tattooed on her.
Really? Heaven on earth?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Because dude, she, like I said, coming from like a real hardcore religion that like, you know, you're not gonna go into these pearly gates if you don't believe this and don't do this and this and this.
Yeah.
And then our teacher, me and Sam have like the same kind of like spiritual teacher who's like one of my family friends, was like, what the fuck is heaven to you? What does that mean to you? Like, are you going to go somewhere and be happy and just like sit in a white robe and everybody's going to be fucking sipping champagne? Like, how long is that going to be cool for? Like, what could you really think of that could be better than right now? Like family, friends, all that stuff. What's going to bring you more happiness? And then she was like, heaven is here on earth. You know, Mother Earth, the goddess, heaven on earth.
Oh, that's great.
That's how I feel about it.
That's what Khalil. So Khalil Rafati, shout out to my boy, sickest dude. He founded Sun Life Organics, best juice bar on earth. Pretty confident in that.
Dude, I want fucking Sun Life to let me sponsor or collaborate or something like that. I love Sun Life.
Oh, it's the best.
Dude, it's unreal.
And he says he wouldn't change a thing. He says he was talking to this rich dude the other day. I was listening to him conversate. It got a little escalated, and Khalil was like, no, if you gave me $100 million or anything like that, tomorrow I would go surfing, I'd hang out with my family and friends, and I'd go make smoothies and put smiles on people's faces. I wouldn't change a thing. It wouldn't change me. I'm happy right now.
Dude, we were just talking about that, how it's like, if you ask a really quote-unquote enlightened person, how would you, if you were to die today, what would you change? Or I guess the same question, if you were to get $10 million a day, what would you change? I wouldn't change a fucking thing. I love my life. I love what I'm doing. I would enjoy the moment exactly where I am.
I'd probably do a little more of my creative stuff. I'd do more of these podcasts.
If you had, you mean money?
Yeah, because
if
then
you
I
had
think
money.
I'd have more time to.
I think with a little bit of stress, like,
make
yeah,
my
I agree with
movies
that. I don't think it's like to that extreme where you're like, I would put the 10 million away and just throw it away. But at the same time, you just gotta love your life.
Oh, this is great. This is Viktor Frankl when he's in the trench in Auschwitz. This is kind of when you were talking, like when you're working out.
Give me the context of it. So is this dude?
This dude's in Auschwitz in the trench working like 4 a.m. They wake them all up. They're dying. Their feet are freezing, frostbite. A couple dudes die overnight. It's brutal. So this is like you when you're working out and then you look up. This is like one of my favorite passages of all time. So he says, another time we were at work in a trench. The dawn was gray around us. Gray was the sky above. Gray the snow in the pale light of dawn. Gray the rags in which my fellow prisoners were clad, and gray their faces. I was again conversing silently with my wife, or perhaps I was struggling to find the reason for my sufferings, my slow dying. In a last violent protest against the hopelessness of imminent death, I sensed my spirit piercing through the enveloping gloom. I felt it transcend that hopeless, meaningless world, and from somewhere I heard a victorious yes in answer to my question of the existence of an ultimate purpose. At that moment, a light was lit in a distant farmhouse which stood on the horizon as if painted there, in the midst of the miserable gray of a dawning morning in Bavaria. Et lux in tenebris lucet, and the light shineth in the darkness.
That's fucking unreal. I didn't know it was that spiritual of a book.
It has those moments, for sure.
Not like complete spirituality, but I didn't know that it was like that deep. I thought it was just a straight up history book.
Most of it's psychology and kind of interpreting people's behavior in horrible circumstances. But yeah, some of it's this very potent spiritual, like, in the darkest of times, your hope is barely there, and then you'll have a sign and it's lighted up and you're
beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
There is a purpose for my existence, even in that shithole.
Oh yeah.
There's a purpose.
That's so cool. Sick, man.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, that's unreal. I want to read it.
Love getting together with my boy, just reading inspiring stuff, talking about inspiring shit.
We should do during the year, like once summer's over and have a more like set schedule or whatever, if I end up doing it. But we should try and read like a book at the same time, and then we could go through it.
That'll make it super interesting when it's just me and you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We'll like pick a book and then we'll read a couple chapters and then come discuss it, talk about that shit.
Oh, I love it.
Also, we could do like fucking like current events kind of stuff. Read over some fucking current events, talk about them. I don't watch the news that often, but
stuff's going down.
I feel like you
got fired.
I feel like
it's crazy
who?
stuff.
What?
I think Paul Manafort or something. He just got
I don't know any of this
charged
shit.
with something.
I don't know any of this shit, but I feel like you know a lot of it.
I don't know much. I gotta get back into it, or maybe I shouldn't. It's pretty much just like a toxic relationship.
What?
A lot of, I mean, politics at least, but there's some
Are you into
interesting
politics?
news.
I'm
not
into
really.
politics at
I'll
all.
watch it and then listen to, both sides always going at each other.
We should just start sending each other shit to look up or listen to or fucking read and go over it.
Yeah, I love that.
That would be dope.
Get the boys rolling.
The boys are rolling. The boys are full steam. We're fucking crushing this with no guests.
No guests.
We don't need anyone.
It's almost better that way.
Yeah.
We don't need you. It's all about me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
This is America.
But we don't need to. We're not slowing down.
We're not slowing down.
Full steam ahead, bro.
No, I love chatting with you. It's great.
Yeah, man. I love talking to you too.
Good therapy.
It is. It's very therapeutic to talk, isn't it?
It's very therapeutic.
That's one thing I didn't do in the last, like when I was really going through it. I was really into depression for like the last probably 6 weeks. Before the last 2 weeks before that, it was heavy, heavy shit. And during that, like I got real like quiet and real down, and I would just follow Sam around and like just be like, I love you. Like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Just like no confidence, no like self-esteem, like just fucking hating myself. You're worthless. That kind of shit.
Isn't that bizarre? I mean, at least for the viewers, I mean, you got the hottest girlfriend, you're the sickest dude, killing it, and you can still have moments or weeks even where you're down. And
oh yeah, man.
it's that's life. It's crazy.
I did like 2 different podcasts by myself in those months, just straight up on depression. Because dude, in those, I'm not joking. In the last like 6 or 8 months, I've got more messages from people about like, yo, I'm feeling really depressed. I'm having trouble with this. How do I get out of it? Then I got messages of like love your stuff or anything, that like a lot of like real heavy messages and stuff like that. So
that's awesome.
So I was like, fuck, should I just record some shit and like put it out there? But then I started going through it. And then when I was going through it, I was like, man, I can't put this out there because I don't even know the answer to it.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, now I feel like I'm almost like a fraud because like I'm talking about loving life and stuff like that. Whereas like right now I'm in this fucking darkness.
Yeah,
and now I'm like, it's okay though, you know.
Yeah,
it's
that's
okay
an
to go through
interesting
it.
thing, because I've even thought like coming on and like doing these podcasts with you, like I'm a piece of work, you know. I can't be talking shit or anything like that. That was just a piece of work. But I think everyone is. Everyone's
I think
a
it's
piece
very
of work.
human.
Yeah, everyone's
That's one
a
thing
piece
that I
of work
realize
working on there.
Everybody's going through different stuff, and it's like it's almost like a therapy session to be able to just talk about it and be receptive, you know.
I feel like we talked so much, my head hurts right now.
We've only talked for 45 minutes, man.
That run gum's serious.
That was a fucking nice drop right there. The run gum. That's a fucking ad right there.
I got you.
Get on the run gum. We got a bunch over there if you want some. Dude, I took it and I literally felt like I was on drugs. Yeah. I felt like I was on drugs.
The come down's like cocaine. You get all nervous, like, oh no, like.
I felt nauseous and shit after, man. I was like, fucking, dude, am I addicted to something right now? Am I having withdrawals?
Jeez.
And it's just gum for people that are listening. Just a fucking piece of caffeine gum.
It's a beast.
All right, bro.
Much love. Aloha.
We're going to be doing this fucking how many times a week?
We out here on Oahu. Yeah.
At least once.
Yeah, once a week for sure.
Condor soaring high above the sky.
Condor's going to be posting all this on Insta too.
Love that.
Insta guy now.
The soaring condor and JT the freight train.
Oh, shit. That is sick.
Unstoppable. 2 unstoppable forces.
That's my next Insta caption. That might even make my bio. Watch the podcast. Soaring condor and JT the freight train.
I might have to come up with it. I don't know if I'm a fucking train.
Yeah, it's like when an unstoppable force
meets an immovable object.
Yeah.
Oh,
or meets a flying bird.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow. How do you do that? You just gotta fly right over it?
Yeah. Collide.
Oh, no, you can't collide with the fucking flying object.
Yeah, I'd get smoked. I'd get taken out.
But I don't think you would be trying to take it out. You'd just be dodging.
I didn't even notice you did this whole thing with your shirt off.
Yeah, I did.
When I did the Myers personality assessment test, I was 0% sensing, like via my like visuals.
What's the Myers for personality
I was
test?
intuitive, so I just take things in via my feelings. It tells you whether you're INFP.
Oh yeah, I think it was
ISTJ.
I think it was ENFJ.
ENFJ. So you were extroverted, intuitive.
Mine was called the
feeling. Judging. So you were
mine was like
I think
the
you were
fucking,
the teacher.
No, it was like the leader. No, it was like the fucking, I have it saved on here somewhere.
ENFJ, like, that's the teacher. They have different names for him.
ENTJ. I don't know, but it was.
Oh, then you were thinking.
No, dude, it was fucking. I was the protagonist.
ENFP.
I was the protagonist. That was the name of it.
I was ENFP.
What was that one?
Extroverted, intuitive, feeling, perceiving, the champion, the idealist.
Wow.
The inspirer.
The man.
Pretty
good.
Pretty sick one.
I liked mine, but it was it's crazy how some of those things are so right about some parts of you.
Oh man, it helped me so much with some stuff.
Yeah.
Helped me deal with some issues so much. We should do that thing again and talk about that. That's a fun one.
You do the personality test?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that I have it saved on my computer.
See, I didn't even notice you had your shirt off this whole time.
Yeah,
I knew it, but I never consciously became aware
I was just chilling.
Of it.
I just got to the pool pretty recently.
Maybe that means I'm untethered.
Untethered is not a place you go, man. You are untethered.
Right?
Everyone is naturally.
Quicksilver right here, baby.
It's just the world adds those fucking conditions. Bro, let's get this fucking ship sponsored by Quicksilver.
I'm back.
Get a couple surfboards in the back, maybe on the wall.
Right?
A couple pics of me fucking ripping, getting barreled. Is that
Bro,
a word
you
to
with
say
a
it?
surfboard, so sick.
Bro, me with a wetsuit, I look like a bowling ball. I can't even do it.
Just ripping cutbacks. Snapping barrels.
Is that a way to say it? Snapping barrels?
Pretty much.
I'm gonna fucking.
Sounds good to me. I rode for Quicksilver 11 to 19 or 13 to 19. Now I'm back on board.
26
26
to
and they're
40.
Like, yo, we'll flow you some
26
stuff.
to 40. Or do they send you shit? Or do you?
Yeah, they got me this and
That's sick, bro.
a bunch of clothes. I think they're sending me to the wave pool with their best guys. So I'm like, oh, I got to train. I don't want to look like too big an idiot, So it's like their best dudes.
Yo, one thing we took away from this, 30 days, you're eating clean and you're trying to work out. That's no joke.
Yeah.
We're going to hold you to that. The people
Should
are
we
going to hold you to that.
take my shirt off right now so we can get a look and then
Show the people.
Skin.
Well, people that are listening wouldn't be able to hear, though. Why don't you just post a picture? Yeah, you got shirtless pictures up already, but
yeah, they're
you're
all
already
shirtless.
cut, so it's not going to be
cut,
like
but
a huge,
it's like skinny. It's like, oh yeah, you're cut, but you're 133 pounds and 5'10".
You're a surfer.
It's weak.
So let's put some fucking strength on there.
Yeah, let's put some meat on my bones.
Have you on an all meat diet, 3 meals, steak.
Yeah.
We'll get you on the rock diet.
Yeah.
10-ounce steak in the morning with 6 eggs.
Oh, whoa.
Every 4 hours.
You done that?
Or no, fuck no. His is crazy.
Who's this?
The Rock.
Oh, The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson.
What an animal.
He's the man.
Sick dude.
Yeah, I like that guy a lot.
Oh, all right.
All right, brother. People listening, love you. We're out of here.
Yeah.